And for one final time, welcome back to ARL. You join us for the final ever ARL race. And yes, welcome to Realistic Round 6, the Sunday tier. Here for the Austrian Grand Prix. Real pleasure to be back here. And of course, it will be kind of a sad day for both reasons. But also, there's a lot of prosperity and great things to look forward to, so don't you worry, this will all be hopefully a race to remember. If you aren't aware, at the end of this season ARL will be rebranding, and that name has, or that scheme has not yet been released to the wider drivers, but we are very nearing that point. So hence why this is the final ever ARL race. We are also hosting our final race on F1 2020, so it's the final time. We'll be running with the shiny yellow banana Renault cars. Matty Mumu driving one of them. It's the final time we'll see the BWT pink Racing Points. Almost said Force Indias, and that was years ago. Matty Mumu's actually got no front wing on that Renault Communist. Sets the first lap of the session, 1 minute 5.3. We did skip Q1 and go straight through to Q2. F1 driver beats that in the Alfa Romeo. Who's next across the line? It's Aaron Ocon. Let's watch Gogglesaw, who is racing on controller. Let's see what lap time you can set. He's half a second off teammate Communist MV so far. Remember, bottom 5 in this session get knocked out. I think Y-Boy Lewis has crashed on track. I didn't actually quite catch that. Yeah, apologies. Didn't actually quite catch that one as it happened. We're going to have a yellow flag in Sector 2 as drivers slow down. Communist MV on his second lap goes to the top of the timesheets with a 1 minute 4.4. Ever so slightly ahead of Y-Boy Jake. On the medium tyres, V2 Combat racing today as now for Tauri in his rear mirror. Who's I don't think V2 pushing on this lap, but see what's going on there. Yellow flag in Sector 3. I think it's Aaron Ocon. Starting on... batteries! No! I'll be back shortly. Nine lap times have been set so far in this session. Aaron Ocon there we were watching. Let's watch Expelo Jam as he heads up the hill on the medium tyres. We've got a bit of a split at the moment in this session. As Spilo nicely gets on throttle. Down towards turn 4 he goes. In 4th gear there, just keeping it nice and stable, not picking up too much understeer. Using all of that outside curb, a little bit of inside curb. Nicely run through there, just kept the car in shape. Supposedly a purple middle sector, but we can never be totally reliant on that. Spilo cross the line. Will it be quickest? No, he's about 4/10 down at the moment, and he's definitely not going to be safe for that time, especially with the likes of V2 Combat Axe coming out on the soft tyres. Matty Mumu on a lap as well. One to watch when comparing pace with Xpilo. Matty's had a fair few Tier 1 appearances last season, but has invalidated on the medium tyres again, so that might be game over. Might have to settle with getting through on the soft tyres. Actually, he can go again because the degradation isn't that high. If he's got enough fuel, it's perfectly fine. Anyway, let's discuss Championship A. It's not really something I've mentioned too much, but we have a championship fight between Xpilo and Atlantis J20 in the Sunday tier, with Xpilo on 88 points and Atlantis J20 on 71. AlphaTauri have already clinched the Sunday Constructors, that being Atlantis and Xpilo, and 3 wins out of 5 Xpilo has taken. He'll be looking for 4 out of 6. It could have well been 5 out of 6 if not for the China DNF, which was so sudden and so shocking, and of course all down to that wretched controller drift. And that's Matty Mumu getting on that inside curb again, and for the second time he has invalidated at that very same corner. Raptor F143 on a lap. Just need to watch his lag. He doesn't seem to be too laggy. This is totally raceable, so it's good to have him here. Up the hill, braking hard. That Mercedes engine powering him along in the back of that racing point. DRS open now on the run down towards turn 4. White Boy Lewis already eliminated from this session. Raptor will be aiming that he gets into that top 10 mix. Axe goes 11th with a 21.2. That's certainly maybe an additional outlap or a run that he's potentially aborted due to traffic. There's nobody really in front of him. Raptor in the middle sector. Again, supposedly purple. White Boy Jake with a 1 minute 3.838. Top of the timesheets at the moment. Raptor into the final corner. We'll see what he can do. This hasn't been terrible lap, and he does go 8th fastest, so he's announced himself on pace with Pluto at the moment, which is quite a surprise. Florian in the other racing point, 2/10 quicker than his teammates so far. And down towards turn 4, done a good few laps on the tyres he set his personal best on in this session. BWT racing point there in the sights for one final time. We'll be seeing the British Racing Green on the Aston Martin in just a few days' time for the release of the F1 2021 game. It is quite exciting. Florian crosses the line, doesn't improve, and that's another lap done on those soft tyres. Well, if he doesn't improve and gets through, he starts on those tyres. Aaron Ocon has done 5 laps on the mediums that he set his personal best with, so he's now out on the softs and should be able to improve, but maybe some practice going on right now. See, Florian is still pushing. Bottom 5 at the moment. Mr. Boca in the Alfa Romeo, Axe F1 in the Williams, Y-Boy Lewis in the Mercedes, Matty Mumu and V2 Combat have not yet set a time. So that is how things look at the moment. Let's have an onboard lap with Aaron Ocon. He's hoping he doesn't hit too much traffic as drivers will want to be slowly heading out soon. Here we go then. On board with Aaron Ocon as he crosses the line and starts his flying lap up towards turn 1 there, braking just after the 100-meter board, and that is a double invalidation there. Took too much curb on the inside and even ran wide as well. So he should have enough fuel to go round and go again. But 5th place, middle of the top 10, certainly not guaranteed safety with the gaps behind and the fact that, you know, Matty V2 have still not yet set a valid lap. Mr. Boca then on a flying lap into turn 1 uses a lot of that outside curb. That's clean. That is very clean. Nicely done by the Alfa Romeo driver. Heading up towards turn 2, the flat left-hand kink, which you want to hug that inside on. Use all of that outside curb to get the car slowed down. That is neat and tidy from Mr. Boca once more. Rises over the crest and plunges downhill. It's a downhill braking zone of turn 4. Very easy to get it wrong. Small lockup. Nicely navigated once more. And again, hugging the inside. Every thousandth of a second counts around here. Remember back to F1 2019 where I commentated a session where P1 and P2 in a short qualifying was separated by 0.001. That was crazy. 6th gear through the air, using a lot of inside curve. It did unsettle the car a little bit, just had to get out the throttle, but Mr. Boca announces himself nicely in 5th place, so he gets up into the top 5. I think we have Matty Mumu starting a lap, so this is going to be important. Soft tyres now for the Renault driver up towards turn 1. He's got a McLaren, but will need to get out of his way fairly quickly. That is Gogglesaw, because Communist MV is out of the session in 3rd place. Up the hill goes Matty Mumu. It's 59 in the first sector, so it's a really good first sector for Matty Mumu. And below the 16-second mark. It is just one corner, but does make all the difference to the rest of the lap. Y-Boy Jake out of the session now as he's 6/10 clear in P1. Matty Mumu still see what he can do in the middle sector. Valid through there. See if he makes the same mistake again. No, he doesn't. He's kept well clear of crossing that white line with all 4 wheels. Downhill again in towards turn 9. 160 miles an hour through there and about 120 through the final corner. Matty Mumu crosses the line. It's fastest by 4/10. And that is very, very well done. Expilo goes 3rd place then. And next to cross the line, I think, will be... Raptor. He doesn't improve, but can go again here. I think F1 driver will be next to head into the final 2 corners. 4th gear for the final corner. A clean run, but he doesn't improve. Next to cross the line is Atlantis, and I just missed him. He pops up into 4th place. And then we're going to have Mr. Boca, and then Pluto in 5th. And Aaron Ocon has not made it out of the bottom 5. Into the pits comes Axe F1. He's eliminated. V2 Combat. Can he knock Mr. Boca out? No. So all eyes on Raptor. Can Raptor get into the top 10? He's about 2/10 up on this lap. It needs to be to 1 minute 4.596. He's gone really, really wide. And that could be all of the time. He's also invalidated as well. And Raptor is out of qualifying. Mr. Boca being safe. Well, Matty Mumu tops the session by 0.4 of a second. Then Y-Boy Jake and Expilo, Atlantis, Pluto, Goggle, Communist, Florian, F1 driver and Mr. Boca all making it through. So we've got 2 Alfa Romeos, a Racing Point, 2 McLarens, 2 Alfa Tauris, a Renault and a Mercedes. 1.182 seconds separating that top 10 there. But people on the mediums, Aaron Ocon wasn't able to stay in the top 10. V2 Combat Axe also out as well. But they do go very, very well in the races. Thank you to everyone joining us so far. Great to have your company. I'm actually not sure if I tweeted about the fact that we're live. I have now. There we go. Hopefully that might bring a few more people along. Great to have all of your company watching the stream. If anyone's around, feel free to say hello. Drop you a mention. But this is where the good stuff happens. You are able to get 3 runs into this session, and everyone piles out of the garage straight away on a fresh set, maybe scrub set of soft tyres. I'm sure people have tried to save a few softs due to the use of the mediums in Q2. But actually, everyone in that top 10 got through on the softs in the end. First up will be an AlphaTauri of Atlantis J20. He leads the pack away. Doesn't really need to worry about the slipstream effect too much. It is not as effective on this game. You need to be within about 3/4 of a second to have any sort of slipstream effect, really, and that will just compromise you with dirty air. Here we go then. Atlantis J20, a tour of the Red Bull Ring. The Red Bull owned AlphaTauri team, of course, makes its way through turn 1. There's a Williams there. He's going to try and tuck in behind. That's nicely timed for a great slipstream through there. This could massively benefit Atlantis. It's a 16-0, so the turn 1 that he got was not perfect. Can certainly find a bit more time through there. Matti Mumu now getting a tow from Pluto as well. Pluto being the absolute hero for both Atlantis and Matti Mumu so far. .44.7 he clocks through Sector 2. It's the race to the finish line now. 2 absolutely critical corners. 7th gear through there for Atlantis. It didn't look right on edge, and a bit of understeer through there as well. He just had to save the invalidation. 4.1. Matti Mumu next across the line. 3.7. Jake is around next across the line. Expilo, and he goes second. About 0.03 of a second behind Mr. Boca. P6. And next up, F1 driver, his teammate. He goes 5th. Gogglesaw splitting them in 6th now, as Mr. Boca drops to 7th. Florian on a lap in the Racing Point. We've seen that the Racing Point can be a competitive car. Oh, that's wide, and that's actually not invalid. I'm very shocked about that, but it is a 1 minute 5.2. Wide boy Jake enters the pit lane. Pluto is a 16.2 in the first sector. He's lost another couple of tenths in the Williams. Penultimate corner. Now the final corner. That is pretty much perfect for what he can do in a Williams. He crosses the line. He's 7th. 2 100ths ahead of Mr. Boker. Is anyone else on a second run? I don't imagine so. They'll be straight in, new set, go out straight away. They want to get the full 3 runs in. We will have a 16th driver joining us hopefully in a sec. There we go. And then Burning Man as well. Hopefully able to join. Why boy Jake then? He was second quickest in Q2. He's yeah, got next lap invalidated from that final corner. On board then with Matty Moo into turn 1. That's a lot of inside curb. See what his first sector is like. 15.8, another 10th found as a result of that first corner. Nice traction off the exit as well. Into turn 6. A little bit of understeer through there. It wasn't perfect. He's lost out of touch. Turn 7 and 8 there. Kept clean. But now full commitment required through the final 2 corners. Turn 9 and now turn 10. Probably could have taken a little bit more inside curb. But I'm not one to judge. He's found 2 and a bit tenths. Anyway, 1 minute 3.5 is the lap there. Pluto will start a final lap, a second flying lap very shortly. We're nowhere near the final stages yet. The Hazard NFO was, of course, our pole sitter last week in Japan. Communist has invalidated his lap. Mr. Boker is valid. White Boy Jake is going again. Let's keep it tuned to Mr. Boker. Let's see what time he's found. Never mind, he's not actually pushing. Should have clocked that. Pluto has found time in the first sector. We'll see status in the second sector in just a moment. Half a second! Well, this is going to be a hugely competitive lap time. Fair play to Pluto. If he can get inside the top 4 here with this lap. Final corner. It's within the limits. And a dash to the line. P4 for Pluto in the Williams. And Jake is just started another run. Expelo matches his first sector, runs really deep into the hairpin of turn 3, and that is going to cost him time all the way down the back straight. Mr. Boker, another run at the moment. We could well see him box because the time is ticking. 3 minutes, and that's a spin. Mr. Boker spins on that inside curb. That's perhaps the most dramatic of the spins. So far today, I don't really... I think that's the first major quali mistake, I have to say. Expilo into the pit lane. White Boy Jake goes third with a 1 minute 3.8. He might be going again. His fuel is looking quite critical. But he's found another 10th. It's whether he can get to the end of the lap. Two tenths up for White Boy Jake. Will he be able to get to the end of the lap? Because I don't think he'll have time to pit, change tyres and come out again. No, that's out of fuel. And that is qualifying over for White Boy Jake. He's third at the moment. He was only 1.2 seconds down after all of that. That would have been a really good lap from White Boy Jake. Communist MV has found a 10th. Lost a little bit of time in the middle sector. Now he blasts to turn 9 over the small crest. It's a blind right-hander this, where drivers have been caught out by dangerously slowing traffic, and that's invalidated for Communist MV. The pressure is on. Can feel it heating up for one final time in ARL at Austria. F1 driver starts his flying lap. 7th place at the moment. That back end wanted to step out, and that is also qualifying over for F1 driver. Gogglesaw, will he be caught out by turn 1? No, he gets through cleanly. Expilo through turn 1. I like comparing these turn 1s because you can really get a gauge for lap time. Atlantis starting a lap as well into turn 1. Misses that inside apex by quite a lot, and that could cost him a shot at pole. Pluto matching his sector 1. Communist MV into the box. F1 driver will head in soon, as will White Boy Jake, and then we'll F1 driver's actually going to finish the lap. Oh my Jesus. F1 driver there crossing the line. And Matty Mumu was unable to improve. Next across line is Gogglesaw. He stays 8th fastest. Then comes Expilo. Found a 10th in the middle sector. He hasn't taken pole. Pluto next. P5 for him. Slight improvement. Next up is Florian. P7 for the Racing Point driver. And then Atlantis stays in P4. Not really any drastic position changes there on those final runs, but it's Matty and Expilo on the front row ahead of Jake, Atlantis. You know what? If Jake was able to finish that lap without running out of fuel, hear me out, that might have been good enough for the front row. Atlantis 4th, Pluto 5th, Communist 6th out of Florian, F1 driver Gogglesaw and Mr. Boker. We're heading to a 36 lap race and the final race in ARL. it's overcast, and I do believe we are expecting some rain. I actually don't know when it's coming, which will certainly make it entertaining for myself and the viewers watching. And the formation lap is well and truly underway. Here are the tyres that the drivers will be starting on. The top 12 all on the soft tyres. V2 has gone for the mediums, as has the Hazard NFO. As has the Hazard NFO. Okay, well. It's quite a mouthful. Short formation lap, shortest on the calendar. So, not too much time to, well, Aaron Ocon. Get on. I believe his game might... Burning Man is in the house. Oh my god. Burning Man's gonna get lapped at least 7 times, I'm telling you. No, that's too harsh. If he gets anywhere near a point today, in the third slowest car, I think, it's like right on par with the Alfa Romeo. If he gets anywhere near a points position today, driver of the season. The Hazard NFO is in the Ferrari. Not sure he minds too much. It's based on constructor order from 2019, so he was given that car. Burning Man, with most teams being full. Actually, I should have given him the Red Bull. That's so strange, but here we go. The lights are coming on now. Just a moment, we will get underway. And for one final time in ARL, they're revving it up now. It's lights out and away we go. Matty Mumu gets a good start, as does Y-Boy Jake. He's going to go sailing around the outside. He's having a look in the middle, and Expilo gets pinched there and loses out to the Mercedes. There's a huge crash in the background. It involves Raptor, it involves Mr. Boker, and as they head up towards turn 4, Y-Boy Jake has taken the lead. That's turn 3, sorry. Pluto up to 3rd, and Expilo and Atlantis now in 4th and 5th place. Gogglesaw only picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings after just 3 corners of the Grand Prix. Florian down on the inside of Y-Boy Lewis, just getting squeezed there on the inside. No serious contact, but they get through fairly well. Oh, here goes Y-Boy Lewis down the inside at turn 7. There's contact and he's around. Y-Boy Lewis is sent into a spin after contact with Florian Foley. Y-Boy Jake now officially has the lead as Aaron Ocon does the right thing and sends himself down the order. Y-Boy Jake leads 6/10 over Matty Mumu, and then 1 second to Pluto, and this train is going to become really entertaining. Pluto, Expilo, Atlantis, Communist, all in this train. Gogglesaw retires in the pit lane at the end of lap 1. Here goes Expilo. He's got a nice run. He's using all of his overtake. He's going down the inside of Pluto. And is he going to make it stick? He's surely going to have the better traction in the AlphaTauri. But no, now Atlantis has got a good run on his AlphaTauri teammate. Remember, this is for the championship fight. He needs to hope Expilo scores nothing today as Expilo goes around the outside of Pluto. Pluto holds the inside and still wheel to wheel through turn number 4, now 5 and 6. Pluto holding it all of the way around the outside. Can he get the move done? No, he can't. It's Expilo that spins! Expilo spins! Oh my god, Atlantis in command of potentially a twist in the tail of the Sunday Championship. And Atlantis has got a fantastic run now on Pluto as he now takes P3 away from the Williams. Aaron Ocon setting fastest lap. He's passed Mr. Boca into turn 1. P11 for the Red Bull driver as he starts to build a comeback. Burning Man off the track. I'm sure he's not enjoying himself too much in that car. White Boy Jake and Matty Mumu are side by side heading towards turn 4. White Boy Jake has the DRS and Jake goes down the inside of Matty Mumu. And does he keep the lead? Yes, he does. Wow. It's raining. It is raining here at the Red Bull Ring. Here we go. Not only have those first 3 laps been so entertaining, we now have rain in the mix as well. I didn't realise it was going to come that early at all. But here it is. On board again with Matty Mumu. He chases White Boy Jake into turn 1. Gets a nice run. White Boy Jake just beats him for traction. But in terms of straight line speed, the DRS really helping Matty Mumu here. He's going to force his car to the outside. He's going to try a switchback here. He's also going to keep the DRS. Pluto and Communist side by side. F1 driver having a sniff as well. Back to Matty Mumu. Is this enough? No, it isn't. He's not able to get past White Boy Jake right now. Pluto potentially looking to cover off that inside line, prevent a switch back from Communist. The Hazard NFO right on the back of Aaron Ocon. Yellow flag in sector 2. Oh, White Boy Lewis and Burning Man, I think, have had a coming together. It won't cause anything as we're green flags already. White Boy Jake has picked up potentially costly 3-second time penalty when we consider the latter phases of the race. And Matty Mumu gives White Boy Jake a tap and he's out of control and onto the grass. And Matty Mumu takes the lead of this Austrian Grand Prix. Oh, that's looking like a nightmare to drive on the exit of turn 3. Communist has a decent run, but F1 driver seems like a rocket! Speaking of rockets, Communist blasts one down the inside of this contact. Both are off. Both keep it going. Florian says, thank you very much, I'll take P5. Inters for White Boy Lewis and Jamie Burning Man. Jamie Burning Man. DRS is disabled. Good call, lads. They are the first gone to the inters. It is now time to get yourselves into the pit lane. It is intermediate time. In we go. This is where the race changes. V2 Combat has stayed out. It's still Matty ahead of Jake ahead of Atlantis. And then look at that. It's absolute chaos in the pit lane. Florian comes out in 6th place. Communist in 7th. F1 driver. He's been good in a straight line. Chasing down Communist now. F1 driver in no hurry to get past the McLaren. 6 of 36. And V2 Combat has made the decision to pit, maybe a lap late, but hey ho, at least he's done it. Atlantis, now on the back of Y-Boy Jake, I'm sure, not to be disrespectful, but I'm not sure Atlantis wants to be hanging around behind the Mercedes for too long. Virtual safety car for a crash from Y-Boy Lewis. That shouldn't change anything drastic, as everyone's already pit onto the intermediates. Just a moment of neutralisation in the race. V2 Combat heads out in 9th place. He could well have been a lot better than that. Waiting for the green flags. And we are green. And look at the run Atlantis has got down the inside at turn 9. Jake is going to hold it around the outside and has done successfully. Wow. Jake there was almost absolutely mugged off the safety car, virtual safety car restart. But it says no. Atlantis could not legally overtake you without your consent. Mr. Boker trailing Axe, trailing Expelo in this 3-man train. Remember, Expelo spun off on the opening lap. Back to Atlantis as Jake gets a touch wheel spin off turn 3. And here goes Atlantis J20 to the inside. Is he going to take P2 for definite now? Remember, Jake has the grip. Jake has the downforce to keep it around the outside, but Atlantis' advantage on the inside is just going to be enough. No, Jake goes down the inside again at turn 6. Just about leaves Atlantis the room, and Jake holds on to P2. Atlantis again on the back of Y-Boy Jake. So still the closest on-track action. I'm not complaining because Jake is having none of it when Atlantis goes down the inside at turn 3. And Jake actually does hang on here. Atlantis does not quite get the exit, so it's going to be challenging for him into turn 4. Jake is still going to hang on to P2. Communist chasing down Florian. Communist has escaped the fists of F1 driver. I'm sure isn't so satisfied after the earlier contact. Penalties at the moment. Jake has a penalty for track limits, as does Florian. Mr. Oh, Axe has crashed. Axe has done a very common thing, and that is crash out at turn number 8. There he is, off on the left hand. Again, only a virtual safety car. It's a bit surprising that. Axe, it's not the way he wanted to end his technically ARL career, because It's not going to be an ARL career next season, is it? Look at the train! Jake has formed! He's 11 seconds off the lead. I think this is quite excessive, young man. Virtual safety car is surely ending now as he gets back underway. Look at the train he's formed. It goes all the way back now to ARL Aaron Ockham. You might want to change that gamer's tag soon, but... Oh, Florian's had a poor run. He's lost 2 positions to Communist and F1 driver. Jake's now 8 seconds behind Matty Mumu. Yellow flag in sector 3, and that's Florian off at the final corner. He gets overtaken by V2 Combat, and soon the Hazard NFO. Burning Man with a time penalty now as well. We'll say on lap 18 we'll have a mid-race penalty. Look, I mean, it's a lot more difficult to get the warnings in the wet. So, compared to this point yesterday, not doing too bad on the penalty situation. Yellow flag in sector 2. I think Florian's gone off for a second time. That's a turn 3. Expelo down in 10th. Atlantis running up in P3. That is not quite going to be enough for the championship. If I remember off the top of my head, it's a much larger gap than 14, which is what separates the two at the moment in terms of this race. Atlantis has a really good run. Really good angle this. You could get a feel of the closing speed. Communist picks up a 3-second time penalty as well. Look at the run Atlantis has got. It's pulling to the left-hand side. It'll mean the inside for turn 2, and he'll be able to maintain the position into turn 3. The cars all bunch up there. And now, Y-Boy Jake is under pressure from Pluto. Jake has just got the straight line speed to stay in front. Florian retires in the pit lane and becomes the 4th DNF. Aaron Ocon's got a nice run. Oof! Getting squeezed there to the apex, to the outside of turn 9. Aaron Ocon slides off the track. No penalty for him yet. Considering he got about 16 seconds, was it? 15 yesterday. It's an improvement. Well done to Aaron. Atlantis has gone, by the way. He has left Y-Boy Jake for dust. For dead in his dust. Whatever. Pluto, then, is the next car behind him. He's in 4th place without a penalty. And penalties in this race are not going to be the penalties that could potentially send my heart rate through the roof at 8 o'clock this evening. There's that football game on, isn't there? Oh yeah, it's coming home. That's definitely about to backfire. Still a rather big train behind Y-Boy Jake. Still got this 5-car pack. Good evening, Sam. No, you can't eat pizza. Not allowed pizza today. Didn't happen. I think Expelo is right on the back of the Hazard NFO. And Saved up his ERS. And will he go around the outside? Hazard blocks that route off. Spilo trying to plant the power. And Hazard again jerks to the right hand side, but still no match for Expilo's speed there, and through Expilo goes into P9. Again, Aaron Ocon on the back of F1 driver. Just kind of see the difference in downforce and the mechanical grip, especially in the wet. F1 driver breaking the slipstream there very swiftly. Pluto has actually lost touch with the back of Jake, and it's Communist MV that wants a fight now with Pluto. Mr. Boca, is that another time penalty? It is, 6 seconds. Clear from air driver. Running wide, Aaron Ocon, as his pursuit of F1 driver resumes. Communist's pursuit of Pluto resumes. Since the rain, you know, the racing has flopped. Hopefully we'll, I don't know if it's going back to dry. I genuinely don't know how this weather is going to play out, but Atlantis is chipping away the gap at Matty, you know, so that could be a fascinating watch. Aaron Ocon finally gets his penalty. Mr. Boca through on the Hazard NFO, who gets a time penalty. Clear as day there from the angle, and off goes Mr. Boca. He becomes another spinner at turn 7, caught in 4K. Is this the run for Aaron Ocon? The gap was closing, but it's not close enough. Mr. Boca, another retirement now in the pit lane. Burning Man is going to be P12. I repeat, Burning Man is going to be P12. It's getting closer. Keep pushing, Burning Man. Believe and you'll get a point. Oh, something's happened to V2. Expilo has got past. Still nothing occurring in the battle for 4th and the battle for 6th at the moment. Give us DRS. Who cares if it's dangerous? It's only a game. Am I right? There's a yellow flag. And that is Burning Man. Off into the gravel. And I think he's just playing this one safe with his re-entry to the track, but what a shame. He's still going. Believe. Oh. I mean, drifting through the final corner. Lap 20 of 36. Still under intermediate conditions. V2 picks up a time penalty for multiple warnings. Let's actually have a look at the penalty so far. Jake with 6 seconds, and that could cost him a podium later on in the race, unless Pluto gets a penalty for himself, which is, I'm telling you, unlikely. Communist has 3 seconds, Aaron 3 seconds, V2, Hazard, Raptor and Burning Man all on 3 seconds as well. Let's have a quick look at the championship, of course, because that does remain important. Is that Hazard? Yes, it is. That is Hazard off. Let's put the telemetry back on. Don't know where that went. Yeah, back to the realistic points. Of course, Expelo on 88 points, Atlantis on 71. At the moment, Atlantis gets 18 from this. He goes up to 89. Expelo gets 4. So he's up to 92. It's not enough yet, Atlantis. Needs more woes for Expelo and himself to close that 8-second gap for the leads. That Hazard has come in to the pits. Could be... No, medium tyres on. That is because it has stopped raining. I don't think it's quite dry enough yet for the slick tyres, but we'll be nearing that phase soon, and should be good. Should be great fun, because the racing has kind of been a bit drier since it started raining, so we need the dry track to return to the non-dry racing. Yeah. On board with Communist. This is perhaps the closest he's been for a while. Could this be the lap he makes a long-awaited overtake on Pluto? Traction letting him down, and fortunately that's gonna have to be a no. Yellow flag. Is that hazard? Yes. Sliding off on his slick tyres. It's not gone entirely to plan. Oh. Virtual safety car. Is that because of hazard? In the pit lane? It must be. Don't see anything else it could be. V2 combat heading in. Still far too early, is it not? Still so much spray and standing water on the track. Y-Boy Lewis has left the session. He's been DNF'd for God knows how long. This does mean Burning Man moves up into 11th. V2's gone for softs. We are nowhere near slick conditions. It could all change instantly, but nowhere near. Green flags once again. Matty Mumu leads by 10 seconds over Atlantis J20. About a corner ahead of his fellow Brit. That gap's dropped down to about 8 seconds now, as it was before. Y-Boy Jake further 5 and a bit seconds back, but as it stands, Pluto has him on penalties. Communist is coming in. Surely these Inters are completely on their last legs then, if the soft tyres, the slicks, either soft or medium, are going on so early. So certainly don't have the grip. On board with V2 Combat. No chance. The tyres just must be dead. Matty Mumu running another lap, as does Atlantis. Jake hasn't. Pluto is coming in. And Pluto has made the decision to box for the slick tyres. Spilo stays out for one more. Those are softs going on the Williams. But is it quite time? Certainly slight difference in terms of the track conditions, but surely not enough for slicks in terms of raw pace. I understand why they're making the decision. 18 laps on the Inters. On a track like Austria, they're going to be dead. That's why they're pitting. But it's just the pace is just going to be so slow. Matty Mumu. If everyone goes on the slicks, it's not a problem, but gonna lose so much time if you're forced to pit. Y-Boy Jake is on his way into the pit lane and becomes the next driver to put on the slicks. Aaron Ocon as well is doing just that. No DRS enabled sign just yet. Expilo moves up into 4th place. Put the leader gap on. Jake has put on more inters. So he's going to lose an additional pit stop worth of time when he has to pit for the slicks. If he has to pit for the slicks. Aaron Ocon out on the softs. It's actually jumped Pluto with the extra lap on the inters, and that says a lot, doesn't it, about the pace comparison. Is Matty off into the pits? No. 20 laps done on those intermediate tyres. Atlantis not going in either. Could either be genius or end in disaster and a puncture. It is really intriguing, isn't it? Raptor has overtaken V2 on the intermediate tyres. Burning Man 2 laps down on the race lead. I think the track's getting drier now. It's certainly very close to slicks. The track visibly looks like there's a lot less water on the track. Yeah, I know Matty did 34 laps on hards at Singapore, but they are stretching it with 20 laps on the inters. And fair play to them all for doing it. Matty make it 21 laps. Atlantis heading into the pit lane. And this is the first gamble, really, of the front runners. Who's that going slowly? Ah, F1 driver's punctured. F1 driver receives a puncture. The DRS is enabled, so it can be very grateful about the timing of the puncture. I mean, he's got to come in. We'll ignore the white line there, you know. It's unsafe if he goes around again on there. Oh, can he stop? He did stop. But Atlantis, now on the soft tyres, the quicker tyres, game on. Jake, who's on the inters. Oh dear. Aaron Ocon, time penalty. F1 driver comes in. Expilo comes in. Now, let's see the gap. Matty doing God's work on these intermediates. Look at them. You can kind of see. Of course, it's not entirely accurate, this game, but Matty Mumu, 24 seconds in the lead, 22 laps done on the intermediates as he will cross the line and counts as a lap. Into the pits he goes. How much time can Atlantis gain? Expilo on F1 driver is a done move. Here we go, on board with Atlantis J20, off board, and now watching Matty Mumu as he heads out of the pit lane. This is going to be close, isn't it? Maybe not as close as I first thought, but the gap is now down to 2.3 seconds. Great call from Atlantis going that one lap earlier. It really is truly game on. Aaron Ocon is going to inherit P3 ahead of Expilo, who's having a little look on the big brother or big sister team of Red Bull. Expilo has the net podium position at the moment. Oof. The braking speeds now, and we might see some fastest laps being set. Pluto picks up a 3-second time penalty, so it's not going to do him much good in terms of gaining positions. Atlantis needs a 3-second time penalty from Matty, ideally, to keep this fight right on. No safety cars in this race. 3 virtuals, I think it is. And now 7 laps to go. Aaron Ocon setting the fastest lap of the race so far. The times will quickly tumble as the track gets rubbered in. All of the remaining standing water clears. Raptor picks up a time penalty. He's running 10th. 1 point at the moment as it stands. Atlantis, time penalty. Aaron Ocon, time penalty. Of course, when it's dry, the penalties will fly in for Aaron Ocon. He's up to 9 seconds now. He'll lose 2 positions. Fastest lap for Expelo, who has the DRS. I think the only car to have DRS. Is Communist around? Yes, he is. He's onto the grass. And V2 Combat has him in his sights. We're looking to fly straight past him on the next lap. Matty Mumu sets the fastest laps, quickly beaten by Atlantis J20. Y-Boy Jake right on the back here of Pluto. He has 3 seconds more penalties. He might be able to pull that gap with the rate he's suddenly caught on him. He's got a great run. Please don't go down the inside at turn 9! Oh my god, he's... Pluto on the outside. White Boy Jake gets through. Don't play with me like that. Expelo gets through on Aaron Ocon. And Pluto back again for round 2 on White Boy Jake. Goes down the inside. And after the move he did at turn 9... Jake stays in front, but for how much longer? As again, Pluto slipstreaming all the way to turn 4. It's not going to be enough. That's the bull statue on the left. Because you will need to see that. Pluto picks up a 2nd time penalty, and that means Jake is running in a genuine 6th now. And that wouldn't be too bad of a result, especially after under par performances. Oh, down the inside goes Aaron Ocon, and Expelo leaves him all of the room in the world because he saw that coming from a long, long way. Aaron Ocon has the DRS as well for good measure. Expelo pulls to the outside. He could well try a switchback here. Gets squeezed by the Red Bull and not able to pull off the switchback. 3 laps to go when Matamumu crosses the line in the final 3 laps. The Alpha Racing League. We aren't going anywhere though. V2 Combat on Communist. They're actually side by side. Sorry, I flicked to Raptor there. Confused myself for a second. V2 and Communist. This seems like a fun battle. Let's go back to Expelo though and Aaron Ocon, who may try the same thing what Aaron Ocon did to him. No, not this time, but he's got the DRS for the back straight down towards turn 4. Easiest move he's had to make in this race, because he set it up so nicely. Spilo will hold on to the podium and will hold on to the championship. Two more laps to go. Been going for 76 minutes now. And it really has been a thoroughly entertaining race from start to finish. I'm sure Matty is starting to see Atlantis in his rear mirrors, but with this 6 second time penalty, Atlantis will do no harm. Final lap then. Let's watch Matty Mumu. Engine glitch. Great job. Magnificent. And what else has been magnificent is this drive from Matty Mumu. He hasn't quite led from start to finish, as Y-Boy Jake held the lead for a few laps. But nonetheless, a magnificent 6-race calendar here in the realistic season. That was all new for the off-season. And now, for the very final time in Alpha Racing League, we're gonna have Matty Mumu takes the checkered flag and wins the Austrian Grand Prix. Oh wow. Atlantis. Please keep this going. Keep this going, Expilo. Create the Tesco car park we all want to see. Expilo will cross the line to take third and become the champion of this tier. Congratulations to him. Raptors bottle to point. Yay! Come on, F1 driver. No! No! Jake, no! Crash! Someone. Come on, Pluto. Come on. Okay, fair enough. I'll do this. Burnouts. Well, Michael Massey said you can't do that. Is Burning Man going to be safe? Is Burning Man going to get a point? V2 Combat's run out of fuel, but will still take P9. No, Burning Man will not get a point, sadly. Or did he crash before the line? I don't quite remember where he crashed. Burning Man crosses the line. P11. Sad. Well done to Expilo. Well done to everyone that has taken part in a season that's right at the end of the game cycle. Among a European Championship. You know, some of the attendance and support we've had for this has been crazy. So we want to thank everyone for that. We obviously want to thank everyone for that has ever driven in ARL as such, from beginning of 2020? I don't know, yeah. I think right at the end of 2019 must have, I can't actually remember. I don't know my years. 2021 now. I don't know, but there's at least been 18 months. spent on this game, as this league, sorry, I should say, not on this game. And yeah, I want to thank everyone. 2 years nearly, wow. Yeah, it will certainly be coming up to 2 years, come the new game, that's for sure. Honestly, that's incredible though, but it is time to move on, from that, and obviously we're not going anywhere. We've set things up so nicely for the best league it possibly can be, and I'm really looking forward to that. Bring on the new game. Thank you to everyone, and these are the race results, and of course, we will see you on the next game. Thank you guys very much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy the final. Come on, England!